What's up, and welcome to the broadcast. This is Digging Life, the only channel on YouTube that's dedicated to all of you who are trying to get your start or freshly started in excavation, grading, demolition, and land clearing, of course. Just like we got one person in here already, so we're just going to wait a few minutes, wait for everybody to come in. We'll get 20 or so people in here before we really start the live Q&A. And let's send our thoughts out to Dirt Boss up there with the Dirt Boss Masonry and Excavating channel. He's in Albany, New York today. We've had, they thought, was some freezing rain, but it didn't really amount to anything. But the Dirt Boss up there, they are calling for like a foot to 2 feet of snow around the city. I think where he's at, they're not calling for quite so much. So our thoughts are going out to him. My thoughts are with you guys, the viewers. I know this can be kind of a trying time of year. Let's get situated here with the holidays, and it can be kind of a slow season. So, put your minds at rest, relax a little bit. Don't expect too much out of the telephone till I would say mid-January. I've got a list of reasons that business could be slow. The biggest one right now is that people are spending their money on the holidays. They're spending a lot on food, a lot on gifts. People are buying Christmas trees and such as that. So their spending is in a different mindset. It's a different consumer base. And that's a normal fluctuation. It's an absolute normal fluctuation. Let's see who's giving us some hellos here. Greg Bremer, hello from Kentucky. Hello, sir. Welcome into the broadcast. We are glad to have you here. Grade A Land, I'm glad you made it into this one, man. I think you kind of came in at the tail end of the last one, but it's just me, so you probably didn't miss that much. Kimberly Cat, welcome in. I've been reading all your comments and getting caught up. She says her name is Emma from the UK. Welcoming our UK neighbors. How's it going? I've been waiting all day to catch you live. Well, it's good to be here, and it's good to be live. Let's see. Robert Melhouse, good to have you here again. What is the working radius of the jobs I do? I try to stay within 100 miles of Asheville, North Carolina is the easiest one. I'm actually in Black Mountain. I try to stay in North Carolina. That way I don't have to run IFTA as far as keeping track of my miles, outside of North Carolina. And really, there's enough business. As long as, really, if anybody can travel within 75 miles of their home base, you should be able to get some work going. Full Tilt Grading, welcome to the broadcast, man, and I am glad you made it. GHT Landscape LLC, coming in from Charlotte. Great to have you here. Let's see here. Greg Bremer, your accent reminds me of my home state of Alabama. Man, I have been accused of being North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, and Virginia, and Tennessee, of course. Kind of run together. Let's see. Miller's Lawn Care. Miller, welcome in from Boone, North Carolina. I've actually got a guy that does quite a bit of work for me up that way. Hopefully, you're staying busy with something going on this winter. I know winter for lawn care can be a little bit slow, but I also know that there are types of jobs that you guys can do to stay busy. So let's see. His wife's uncle and aunt lived in Raleigh. Can understand the word he said. Yeah, I actually try to enunciate, especially when I know I'm meeting a customer that when I talk to them on the phone that they actually use proper English and they enunciate. So I try to be respectful enough to at least try to speak clearly for them. It's one of those things that it's almost like why I wear long sleeves. I've got full sleeve arms tattooed, and I just try to be considerate of the customer. They don't need to be distracted by whether I'm not clean shaven or, tattoos. You don't want them distracted and questioning your character. You want to be dressed to impress. You want to be dressed as if you've already got the job. And you want to talk as though you've already been hired. You don't want to talk to them as if you're at a job interview. You want to talk to them as if you're here to stay, and you want to be the one providing the service for that what they're needing done. What I was touching on a minute ago is kind of why things are slow right now. The biggest thing is the holidays. Everybody's spending money on the holidays, gifts, food, Christmas trees, such as that. Another reason is that it is the business year end, and a lot of if you work for other businesses, they're kind of closing up. They're wanting to cut their year off. They want to have spent all they want, and they're trying to close their books. And a lot of those companies are letting their employees off for Christmas. And a lot of the times they give a week or 2 weeks off for that reason. They want to get all their payroll paid. They want to get all their accounts closed out. And then they want to come back in January at some point and start things back up and start a whole new year anew. So it's not necessarily that the economy is hurting this time of year. It's more that everybody's just kind of found a cutoff point, and end of December, beginning of January happens to be that. Also, there are a lot of people who are afraid of how much taxes they're going to have to pay. There are people who may not pay in all year, and they're coming up, January, February, whatever, they get their taxes done, as they call it, by their accountants, and they don't know how much they're going to pay. So they don't know if they have extra money or if they're in the hole. So tax season can be, for some of us, a great time of year. It can be a time of year where we're like, all right, let's see what we're going to get back. But for some people, it's about, oh no, did we save enough? Are we going way in the hole? It's a time of either satisfaction, a time of reset, or a time of panic. And you've got to accept that being one of the sources of a slow season. Now, us personally, we really haven't had like a major slow season in 3 years, I know. Maybe 4. I'd have to look back. But me and Kelly, certainly since we've been together, the wintertime shortens up how far we're booked out. During the summertime, we went anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months booked solid and consistently. But then in the wintertime, you start catching up. So if you start catching up, don't necessarily cut your prices too quick, because you may cut your prices and it's just that there's not as many consumers. There's not as many people needing that service right now. So if it's middle of December, January, and you're getting caught up, you're not booked out as far as you see yourself getting caught up, don't panic about it. First thing you can do, you've got to be able to keep a clear mind. And I'm going to try to do these lives weekly, bi-weekly maybe, just depending on the interactions we have and how many questions I get. If I'm getting a lot of questions, then I know that folks need me and they want my input. If we have less, we'll do less lives. But this time of year, probably more lives, because it's a time that is really difficult. And it's really scary, especially for the new guys out there, the guys who have just gotten their started this year and they haven't got a big savings. Hopefully you guys that are starting your business and you're new in this, you got some kind of a savings and you want to have a summer build up. You want to have your winter money saved up just a little bit, because with getting caught up to your, how far you're booked out till January, and it starts getting into the middle of December and you're getting caught up more and more and more, that's also your income is slowing down. And with that, you've got to consider the possibility that you're going to have to live on some savings. And that's okay. Lots of companies do it. Lots and lots of companies they go into a season or a period of the year and they lose money. It's simple as that. Do you think Christmas tree farms make their money all year long? They probably make a little bit. They probably sell a couple of trees here and there. But for the majority of it, they get slammed once a year. They have just a flood of trees come out. I've got a friend that's got a hotshot trucking business, and we hauled. We're part of it. We hauled. The guy that we hauled for said he cut 7,500 Christmas trees this year. 7,500, and I can't remember how many we hauled for him, but we hauled them. The guy we hauled them to got sold out like in no time, and he called us up to get us to potentially line up for going to get another load. This Christmas tree farm was sold out of trees. Now imagine that. Christmas tree farm. You would think they would have a little bit more. Sorry, let me get this. You think they would have a little bit more of a surplus. But I mean, really, if they don't have a surplus, that's pretty dang good. I mean, if you've pushed all year and you've done everything you can and you sell out, that's not too bad, is it? And it's just like with us, our supply, which is our work, runs out this time of year. So you can look at it like that, almost like it's a product. But come spring and, summer, we're going to get, geared back up, and it's going to be okay. This time of year is actually a great time of year that creates our work. Down here where there's constant freezes and thaws, freeze and thaw, water gets in the ground and it freezes and expands, it breaks the ground up. You're going to have erosion because that ground's looser. And when it rains, it's going to wash more. So those of us who are in this business, be thankful for this time of year. If it was, temperate year round, we would be out of work. It's as simple as that. There just wouldn't be. If it's too dry, the ground doesn't like it. If it's too wet, the ground doesn't like it. And me, I like it very much. So it's all good. Let's go over here to the comments section for a minute. Let's see who we've got in here. Sorry, guys. I got jabbering, and I should put on my Santa suit. I've got it over. I've got it over here, but I figured it might be distracting to some people. Now we'll do a live closer to Christmas, and I'll put the Santa suit on. I've got the beard here. I've got the glasses. Man, I'm ready to rock and roll, buddy. Had a lot of fun with Dirt Boss today. I tried to prank call him, and it didn't work out too good. He's a little too sharp. He's a little too smart for this little hillbilly. And it wasn't just my accent. He said it was he saw the number from North Carolina. So I blew that one, Let's see here. Steve Smallwood, welcome in from Kentucky. That gives us two people in here from Kentucky, I think. Miller's Lawn Care. He says, I also do gravel driveway repair, bush hogging, and stump grinding. And those are all jobs that we can do in the wintertime and cold months. They're really good, really, really good types of work. Driveways are one of my favorite things to do. I've been really pushing them lately. General gravel driveway repair, potholes. People hate potholes, and they will pay to have them fixed. So there are services that you can do in the wintertime with the equipment from excavation and grading that may not be excavation and grading related. I do stuff that's totally unrelated. I move tiny houses for people. I move sheds. I can do, having an excavator is like having a really strong employee. So you can take on jobs that just require some heavy lifting. Sorry, that's my GoPro. Here in a little bit, I'm going to start it recording so I can do like YouTube live highlights for the people who can't stay for the whole thing or come in late and then catch up later. So I apologize for that beeping in you guys' ears. So let's see what we got here. Greg Brimer says, I work for a machine shop who works on centrifugal air compressor parts. We're always busy during the holidays when plants will shut down. Some places will stay busy and some won't. It just depends on where you're at. There's no exact formula or any business that's going to be perfect 365 days a year. It's just not out there. Let's see who we got. Jeff Worley, hello from East Tennessee. Welcome to the broadcast, my friend. Great Day Land, I'm really surprised on equipment prices for this time of year. I haven't even looked at equipment. I just haven't. I haven't a need for new pieces of equipment right now. Drop us some examples in the comments, my man. I would be curious to know. And just about everything drops off this time of year. Cars, equipment, usually. But like I say, I haven't looked personally, and it's hard for me to kind of weigh in on that. Let's see. Full Tilt says I'm 30 miles north of Philadelphia to Dennis. They are going to get hammered with snow tonight. And again, guys, now we got a few more in here. Let's have our thoughts out with the Dirt Boss. I think he said he was going to go out and do a little bit of pushing, but he's not in that business heavy. There's just too many people up there that do it. And let's just keep our thoughts with him if and while he's out there. Hopefully he gets to go home and doesn't have to be out all night and freeze his patootie off. Let's see. Greg Breimer, are you planning on buying a bigger excavator? Maybe a little bit bigger of an excavator, but I'm definitely not planning on going like over probably a 120 ever. I just don't like big jobs that would require that. I tend to like smaller jobs. I like getting in and out in 1 to 3 days, a week tops. Really a 100. I would like to get something maybe 25 to 30,000 pound range and stay there. I think that would be my comfort zone, and it would definitely be where I want to be. So you guys click the thumbs up button if I'm coming in clear and the picture's clear for me. If you guys could, I figure a thumbs up's not too hard of a thing to do for me. Let's see here. Plain and dirt simple. Last year was the first year that I had consistent work through the winter, which is December through February for us. That's awesome. I am stoked. High five and a fist bump to you, because if you can stay busy through your winter season, more than likely your summer season is going to be good, unless all you do is snow plowing, and then it's quite the opposite. Thanks for the likes, guys. I love it. Keep them coming. Let me know that I'm coming in clearly. And let me know if I'm enunciating enough. If I get too hillbilly, if I start forgetting to enunciate, you guys just remind me down here. I really do have a very thick Appalachianese accent. Very thick. So, where are we at here? Full Tilt calling for 8 to 12. Man, that's a lot of snow. And like for down here in North Carolina, that would be like a blizzard for us. 12 inches of snow is just huge. People panic and freak out. I'm just going to sit at the house. That's all I'm going to do. Fine powder now, says Dozer Dennis. Bo Clem, hello from Mustang, Oklahoma. How is the weather for you, Bo? Thanks for coming in and welcome to our live stream. Feel free to ask any questions, guys. I'm going to try to stay caught up. I'm going to be on here till about 6:15 tonight. And I guess we go ahead and start this GoPro up for those who couldn't join us on time today. I love all my viewers. You guys have been amazing. We have actually our views shot up this week. It was absolutely amazing. Thanks to all you guys. I appreciate all of you who stick by me and are helping the channel grow. It's been it's been an amazing year. It's really grown. I'm hoping that we break over 8,000 subscribers before the 2021 comes in, and I think we can do it. I think it's going to be awesome. If we can break 8,000 subscribers, thrills me. I'm going to try to hit 16,000 by 2022, and I really want to get out there. I want to get out there. So if you guys can, share the videos that you think would really help somebody. If it's just these videos that I'm making that I'm just joking around and, cutting up and having a good time, I'm not worried about that. But if it's a video you really think that will help people, be sure to like, definitely comment. Commenting is strong. It's powerful with YouTube. And like, comment, and then if you want to, share it. I really want to help as many people as I can, because I didn't have that luxury when I started. Nobody I was around did this stuff. And really around here, exactly what I do and how I do it, there's nobody else either. Could be because I did it wrong. Who knows? Let's see here. Where are we at? Rudy Yukon, welcome in. Yeah, Dirt Boss is a great channel. And it's Dirt Boss Masonry and Excavating. If you're not subscribed, you've got to because he is awesome. I love the guy. Super entertaining. They're perfect. Welcome in, and thanks for dropping by, my friend. We've got to do our collaboration. I don't care if we do StreamYard or OBS or something. Let's get together on it. I was able to track Dirt Boss down, so Dirt Perfect's next. He's a business owner, and they're easy to track down. So, Mike, I might have to prank you. Just fair game. Just letting you know. So, if you get a call from North Carolina, it's not me. Let's see here. Jason Hurd, hi from the Oregon coast. Man, what's your weather like out there? Is it staying pretty warm, or are y'all freezing to death? And do you get any snow out there? Let's see. Bo Clem, what do you think of Laurent? Let's say 28EX Shark Mulcher. I think I've seen that, and I'll have to research it, and maybe we can touch base on the next live. But actually, yeah, I think I have seen it. Is that for an excavator? And it looks like a shark's head going down onto the stems. If that's the one I'm thinking of, it seems like a pretty stout dude. I think it's pretty stout. I don't think that it's like a Dennis CMF. I don't think it's quite that good, and I'm not sure if it's as good as a Fecon. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, I'm not positive I'm thinking about the right one. But I'll look into it, and we'll touch base back on it. Let's see. Everybody's telling Mr. Dirt Perfect hello. Let's see where we're at. I love it when everybody's chatting back and forth in the comments. I have to sort through it. Trevor G is in Mayfield, Kentucky. Welcome to the broadcast. We're glad to have you here. Full Tilt Grading says Yanmar makes a nice machine. They are good. Yanmar is decent. Yanmar is well priced. But once you get above a 55, they are not well balanced. That's always going to be my harp about them. And I've even got like an 800 or 900 pound additional counterweight. Now, that being said, you can put 2 additional counterweights on one. So that's nearly 2,000 pounds. It's 800 or 900 per weight. If I slapped another one on there, it would be a lot better, I think. I think it would hold up a lot better. My treasure guy. We talk normal. Everyone else has an accent. That's a solid fact. I think I'm going to lead with that next time from now on. Greg in Somerset. Welcome in, my friend. Welcome in. Let's see here. We got a lot of people coming from everywhere. Statesville, North Carolina. No, he's saying, are you near Statesville, North Carolina? If he's asking me, I'm in Asheville. I'm about an hour west of Statesville. Jason Hurd, pretty wet right now. They get snow. Okay. Oakland, yes. So you guys drop it in the comments, whatever you want to talk about. I'm here for you guys. So earlier I was talking about how things are kind of slow right now, and that's normal. Don't be alarmed. Election years are always kind of slower and tougher, but I think this year's been good. Despite the shutdowns and stuff, a lot of people were forced to stay at home, but we, in our industry, in our state, were considered essential, and we never slowed down through the warm months. We did not slow down at all. Full Tilt says he demonstrated the Yanmar 100 and didn't care for it, but it was very well built. Yeah, they're just not impressive. They're stout machines, but they're just not well balanced. But as far as this time of year, don't stress. It's going to be okay. I think 2021 is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be great. We get this election stuff over with, and I mean they're distributing the vaccine. So whether you believe it exists or not, the virus, then what you think doesn't matter. But how things are going to be affected now that there's a vaccine coming out, things, they will have no choice but to loosen up on everybody. And everybody that's not considered essential is going to be able to get to go back to work. And a lot of those people are the ones who like to spend, especially on smaller excavation and grading. They're the ones that like to have small jobs done. They're really the ones, and a lot of times that's the limit of what they can afford. They can't afford large excavation and grading. So I feel like with them, when they announced that there was a vaccine, that the stock market went up 10,000 points that night, straight up. So now we see there's kind of an end in sight. So for all you guys who are a little bit concerned, you can relax a little bit. You can relax. It's going to be okay. You guys, again, give me a thumbs up if I'm still coming in clear. A lot of times when somebody's live streaming, if there's a lot of movement and they're moving their head around, a lot of times they'll cause a lag. And that's no bueno for the live streams. Let's see who we got here. Progress show. Let's see. Well, there's Lawn Care. He has a dump trailer. There is all kinds of stuff you can do. You can put out an ad for moving. And if somebody needs something hauled to Florida, back before I was more of a homebody, if it was a small something, I'd go rent a U-Haul and just take off. Go have some fun. If there's not a lot of digging to be done or land clearing, there is work out there. And that's why I have a hard time believing, people not being able to find work. I see help wanted signs all over the place. I don't understand it, but that's just how it is sometimes. Aaron Sharp, welcome in, my friend. Do you need a contractor license to do a lot of the work I do? I don't need a GC license for any of it in North Carolina because all of my work I keep under $30,000 total. If it's a bigger job that's going to end up being a little bit more, what I will do is I will separate the jobs to where I can legally say this one is not dependent on the other. So I will say you've got $50,000 of work. I will separate out this much work, and I will tell the customer we're going to do this first. You pay me in full. And once I'm paid in full and we close that one out, then I'll do the other $20,000 worth of work. So I'm never got an open ticket, if you will, that's more than $30,000. Now, if Mike's still in here, or, his area may be different. I think he's in Indiana, I think. Every state is different, but they're all fairly close together. So you want to check with your specific state as to your requirements. You don't want to get in trouble, when it comes to licensing and stuff. So just keep it 30,000 or less. I think South Carolina was 35,000, something like that. And you have to have a separate business license, I think, for both states. Or the state you're working on. Are you drinking? You're looking blurry. I'm drinking water. And my camera is not a good camera. This is just a laptop setup, but I do plan on getting a better camera and microphone. And I will also be using streaming software because I want to do some collaborations. I know I want to collab with Dirt Perfect, Dirt Boss. I know Dominique, the dump truck driver, she's wanting to collab a little bit. And I'd like to collab with Lead Earthworks. And maybe Let's Dig, whether he wants to or not. Whether he thinks he needs my help or not, he needs my help. I mean, let's dig it live. What can we say? Full tilt grading says not real clear. Yeah, I can tell on my screen. Let's see. Tell me if that helps at all. It's probably just the quality of the camera on the computer, but that is in the works of getting better. Let's see here. Just in East Tennessee, in their website says any job under 25,000. So that's close to that $30,000 mark. I know they all hover right around that same number. So if Tennessee says that, then you need to just stay under 25,000 or separate your jobs, like I said. Trevor G, I'd love to get into excavation, but I'm limited to the money I can spend due to recently buying a farm. you were to recommend one machine to get started, what would it be? That really depends on the types of work you're wanting to do, and that can make a big difference. If you're just wanting to fix driveways, I would just get a tractor with a loader and a box blade. You can cut ditches, and anybody says you can't cut ditches with a box blade, they just haven't done it. I have done it. It works pretty good for me. You got to do it a little different way, but I've got some videos on how to use a box blade for that. But Trevor, I tell you, it's if you want to drop a quick list of what you want to do, the type of services and whatnot, we can advise you better. But as far as like land clearing and excavation, definitely an excavator with a blade. Definitely with a blade. I wouldn't have an excavator, even a big one, if it didn't have a blade. I mean, I just use it all the time. Let's see here. Joe Gregork. I am in the early stages of starting my side gig repairing gravel drives. Congratulations. High five and a fist bump to you. It's just how I started, and it turned out pretty good so far. But I always struggle with pricing, especially since I don't have a truck to haul gravel. So can I do the job and price it? Okay. In my area, say you've got an established gravel driveway, but it's got some muddy spots here and there. In general, $1,250 per 100 feet is plenty enough for you to be able to do whatever you need to do and get 16 tons of road bond to top coat it with about 3 to 4 inches of road bond. $1,250 to $1,500, depending on how far you have to pay them to haul the material out to you. One of the first pieces of equipment I would recommend anybody getting is a dump truck, even a little single axle, because you can rent excavators pretty cheap. You can rent skid steers pretty cheap. Dump trucks, you can actually rent them pretty cheap, a couple $100 a day from United Rentals, but their availability is a problem. Availability of a dump truck is the issue. So if you're wanting to get into excavation, grading, land clearing, demolition on any scale, get a dump truck of some kind. I would recommend something that has a GVWR of 33,000 pounds. Now, this is going to be a Class A size, or Class B size truck. And if you're going to get your Class B CDL, you might as well get a Class A, because at some point soon, you are going to want to be able to haul your own machine. And if you're going to be doing this stuff on any scale, any machine is going to put you up to that weight. So your first machine needs to be a dump truck, in my opinion. But that is the most versatile thing. And I would get one that has a rock tailgate where you can hook the chains and spread the gravel. And I would also get one that has at least a barn gate swing out. And that way you can load brush in it and you don't have to worry about getting stuck in the tailgate trying to dump it out. So there you go. Full tilt grading. What are you good on? Oh, he's talking to Trevor. If there is money to make. Let's see. Oh, I jumped ahead too far. Where did I go to, guys? I'm lost. Okay, Miller's Lawn Care. If there's money to make, my hands are in it. Also work a 40-hour full-time job. And that's what it takes. When you're trying to get started in, a business and you're doing it as a side hustle, you still got to crank them 40 hours out. But as soon, I'm telling you, when your full-time job starts holding you back and you're having to turn down jobs for your side hustle, that's when you really need to consider cutting out and starting your own thing. You're always going to be able to think of ways and reasons that it's not going to go good, or there's reasons that you shouldn't do it. Sometimes you just got to put your head down and go for it. That's the best advice I can give. I wish I'd had somebody to push me sooner, and I'd be even farther than I am now. So, I'm stoked for you guys to do this as a side hustle, but when you start feeling held back, that's a good time to go. Skid Steer Drew, he just, there's my man Dirt Boss. welcoming everybody to the broadcast. Skidster Drew just left a job. He's got a newborn baby, and he's doing it, and he's doing well. I'm seeing him on Facebook. He's doing all kinds of jobs. He's doing great, and I'm stoked for him. Tennessee is 25,000 or less. There you go. We got an affirmative answer. Joe Gregor. Basically, what can I do with my new Kubota L2501 to make side money? Lots or gravel drives near me. Definitely gravel driveway work. Definitely gravel driveway work. You can clean out ditches with it if you've got a box blade or a drag. If it's got a loader, you can move anything that's within its weight capacity. So if somebody needs you to drag this, move a big rock, just advertise tractor work. Go on Craigslist, advertise tractor work. That's the exact phrase that people look for. Tractor work, you can actually put in landscaping and just kind of screen your calls to where they're going to call you and maybe somebody does want flowers planted, but a lot of people think of landscaping and they think about stuff that me and Dirt Boss are doing. Some people think, landscaping, and by definition it may be, you're scaping the land. So advertise anything and everything that you think is in any way a term that a customer could look for, even if it's wrong. So you want to have, like when you do your ad, use a bunch of key terms at the bottom so when somebody searches for it, it's going to pop up. It's not going to cost you to take a phone call and tell somebody, well, that's not exactly one of the services I offer. I wish you the best luck. But then again, they may call you and it may be right up your alley. It may be something that's just exactly what you want. You may get you a little trailer hitch for your tractor, and somebody needs you to place a camper for them somewhere a car can't put it or a truck can't put it. So there is a lot of things you can do with a piece of equipment. Trust me. And if you look hard enough, you're going to come up with a huge list of stuff you can do. It's amazing the stuff people call me to do. I mean, it really is. They'll call me and be like, this is a true story. Yesterday, I was sitting at the grocery store parking lot. I was waiting until closer to time to meet a customer at their place, and I start to pull out. I hear beep, beep behind me, and I turned to look and didn't see anybody. Kept going, beep, beep. Looked at my mirror, and there's a lady in her car smiling and waving at me. Okay, nowhere on my truck does it actually say demolition. It's grading, excavation, and land clearing, I think. No, excavation, land clearing, and driveway work. This lady pulls up, and she's like, do you tear down houses? I said, you bet I do. And she's like, well, let me get your number. She's like, well, let me just take a picture of your truck. And I have been beating this into the ground, and I get excited about this because I have preached it. Everybody needs their vehicle decaled. They need a decent looking vehicle so you're looked at as a decent person and a decent contractor, and you need to have that sucker decaled with your services and your phone number. That's the most important. Forget your company name. Mine's on there, but the biggest thing and the biggest lettering you need is your services. And just like this, do you tear down houses? You bet. You bet. I'll tear down anything. You give me some money, I've got the time. So that just proved it right there. And I can't believe I almost forgot to tell that story because that tickled me to death. I was like, fine. This proves my point. And of course, I wasn't rolling film, obviously. Why would I be rolling film when I'm proven right? Makes me sick. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Okay, Full Tilt Grading says, personally, he loves mini excavators. They make a lot of money, and that is true. That is true. I make as much with my 20,000 pound excavator here around Asheville than, most people that I know make with, say, 35 to 40,000 pound machines. And I can get in anywhere almost. I can get on asphalt. I can go across somebody's yard. Unless it's soaking wet, and then I wait for it to freeze, and then I'm golden. So if I was going to pick the perfect size excavator for starting in this business, 20,000 pounds. It's big enough, it's bulky enough, you can clear huge trees, you can move a lot of dirt. I got a 1-yard bucket for my excavator. That's not to say that the big guys don't have their place or the tiny guys don't have their place, but I can do it all, just about all of it. I can squeeze that thing as long as I got, I believe it's 7 feet. I can get there. So it depends on what you guys want to do. Let's see here. Joe, watching from Northeast Ohio. I don't know if is the snow missing you, man. Hopefully so. Hopefully so, unless you can somehow make some money on it. Desert Dennis, I love my 305 E2. I ran a 305. No, actually, it's a 304. I haven't got to run many cats. I have been, and this is one thing you guys can advertise yourself for, is operator for hire. And you call these bigger companies and just tell them, call me as needed. I don't need a full-time job. And you will make more money per hour because when they call you, it's because somebody laid out and they are in a pinch. The sun is shining, the ground is dry, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, somebody called in sick. Guess what? You are in high demand. You, my friend, are in high demand. And that's another good way to get your side gig going. Around here, a good operator runs for $18 to $22 an hour starting out. I know of people who make $25 to $35 an hour as a contract operator. So you guys keep that in mind. All you got to do is call these companies and just say, call me as needed. Here's a card, have some cards made. Operator for hire. And if you're there when they really need you, they're going to pay you more than a regular employee. This is the truth. I'm telling you. And I haven't said that on a live chat. It just hasn't occurred to me, but it's a fact. Okay, let's see here. Full Tilt Grading just punched Dirt Boss in the nose. Do you see this? Look over here in the comments. Punched him right in the face. Inconsiderate. Let's see here. Plain and Dirt Simple. I like that. I like that screen name, man. He says, absolutely on the blade. He has a Kubota KX80. I am jealous. I bet that machine's awesome. And he says, and wouldn't have one without it. On those MIDI and mini excavators, the blade's not mostly for pushing dirt. It's mostly for stabilizing yourself. That's what it's mostly for. Let's see here. Jamie Lee Chafin, what's the smallest best mini that will run a brush cutter bush hog? Yes, that absolutely makes sense. I think probably for me, about a 12,000 pound machine, like a Vio, like an Yanmar 55 or a Bobcat E50. That size excavator is awesome because they've actually got a pretty good hydraulic flow and pressure. And they're pretty light footed. You can put these little 12,000 pounds anywhere. And you can be on a slope that's, if it was muddy, you'd slide. But I'm telling you, the 12,000 pound range is a good mid-range machine. But if you ran one of those and then you got on my machine with a brush cutter, it's two worlds of difference. And like when you're running these 12,000 pound machines, most of them run like a 4-foot or maybe a 5-foot brush cutter. My brush cutter, or actually it's a 4-foot. That's what it is. 3 or 4 feet for the smaller ones. And then mine runs a 5-foot cutter, 60 inch. Is that 5 feet? Yeah, I think so. Feet. Boy, that really sounded hillbilly. Anyway, yeah. So the bigger you get, and it doesn't necessarily mean the power, guys. If you've got a 5-foot cutter with blades this wide and that, 5-foot length, once you get that thing spinning up, it sounds like a helicopter taking off. And believe me, you bite into some stuff like this, you want, like, if you got the deck up like this and that thing like here, you got the blade spinning this way, you better catch that stick right here so it slings stuff that way as opposed to it coming back at you. I've had some stuff hit the windshield that'll wake you up quick. I'm telling you, brush cutting with an excavator is an awesome business. It don't matter where you're at. I'm pretty sure if you were in the desert, you could get work mowing down cacti or something. I would look into it anyway. Ray Ward, Buffalo, New York. Welcome in. We're glad to have you here. He's got family in Sumter. Let's see. Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. We got 41 people in here, and that amazes me. Thanks to every one of you for joining this broadcast. I mean, it's really humbling. I think my first broadcast, I had like 5 to 10 people floating inside and out, and our channel's really grown. Our typical growth, I think, was like 450 subscribers per month. This month, we are almost to 900, and I'm thrilled. It really makes me happy to feel like we're getting out here and helping people and making a difference. So thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. And to Let's Dig and Dirt Boss and Elite Earthworks, I appreciate you guys being good sports. And Mike over at Dirt Perfect being good sports about me, kind of poking some fun. You know, it's a lot of work making these videos. It's a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. It's hard to, drive a truck, run the machinery, run a business, and film it all at the same time and video it in a way that it's interesting and fun. On a regular day, I was working from I'd say about 8 o'clock in the morning till I'd say midnight. So I was really, really busy. I've just got a couple of more minutes here, guys, that I can chat and hang out, but we'll definitely do another live feed. Let's see if I can get down to the bottom of the. Oh, good. I'm not leaving anybody hanging. So I'd say hold any more comments, guys. I'm going to try to get caught up here. Again, Dirt Boss, I was telling them earlier I didn't know if you were going out pushing snow or not, man, but our thoughts are with you up there anyway, man. It's a snowstorm's a snowstorm. So I'm hoping for you, it blows through and you get some sunshine and you can get to work. Because I need something to watch. I'm bored down here. It's my season 2. I need you, brother. Let's see here. Barry Mason, owner Bear Landscapes, North Alabama. Welcome. Thanks for joining in, my friend. Let's see here. Opinion on flail versus bush hog for Cat 304. I think with the 304 it being so small, you need to use momentum to your benefit. A flail mower is going to probably mow prettier, but the difference is that you don't have power to push through bigger stuff. So if you're mowing over, like say 1 inch, I would probably go with a bush hog. Hoyt Ballard, the MRVO 55 shows 21.8 gallons per minute. The dealer that's trying to sell him one says it won't run the Fecon 36 well. I assume it's due to the horsepower only being 47.6. It's actually your flow rate that's the problem. If you can't get 28 gallons per minute flow for that 36, which I own the FMX 36, you're not going to be able to spin it up fast enough. It's the momentum of the head. It's not the power that it pushes. So I would definitely go with a bush hog on that. And if I had it to do over, I would have bought a bush hog before I bought the Fecon. But I bought the Fecon first thinking it could do everything. And if you're mowing smaller stuff, grasses and such as that, a bush hog's going to do better. And you're going to have a way faster production. I mean, the FMX 36-inch bite, you could run a 4-foot mowing head and go faster. So that's my advice to you. Tim Freeman, hey, man, you're coming in at the very end, man. I'm making a video. I'm going to do the highlights later tonight. So I'm going to go back through. I've got like 30 minutes of footage. I'm going to highlight all the questions and answers, and that way you don't have to watch through everything if you don't want to. Desert Dennis, congratulations on your success. Indeed. It's been a good, successful year for everybody, and I'm happy for them. Since it's raining in Atlanta, I decided to do some end-of-year shopping today and looked at the Deere 60G, which I was surprised at the flow, 24.2, but the cab is awfully hard to get in and out. I like Deeres. I really do. I think they're good-looking machines, and I think that it probably would give you good service. But a machine needs to feel good to you. You need to be able to sit in it for 8 hours and feel good at the end of the day. I get out of my Yammer at the end of the day, and I feel like I've been in a boxing match or a karate match, something like that. I feel like I've been beat absolutely to death. Tempe, love the one negative review video. I had a lot of fun with the guys on that. I had a lot of fun. Trevor G, thanks for these advice, guys. Catch you later. We'll see you, Trevor. I'm winding down right now. Barry Mason, Liam Boas, Alabama. Joe Gregor, snow misses us this time in Ohio. December 1st, we had our share. Yep, almost 2 feet and 20. Holy cow. I do plow with my tractor and my truck. So, man, make all the money you can any way you can. My tractor guy, I'm running a brush cutter from VMC Equipment, which I've heard of them and I think they're pretty good on the SV40, and it does a phenomenal job. So, there you go, guys. The SV40, good machine, and VMC Equipment. So, thanks, guys, for joining this live chat. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate it. I look forward to chatting on the next live. Again, if you have friends and they missed this, let them know that I'm going to be doing a highlights video. And from now on, for every live, I'm going to have my GoPro set up with the media mod so that sound will be even better. And here's looking at you. I love this, and I love you guys. We'll see you on the next one.